Hey guys, welcome back in. Today we are talking about playing the real estate advisory role and not just the marketer out there.
Yeah, I think there's just so much confusion in the market with the buyers and sellers.
Yeah,
I mean,
the consumer.
everybody's confused, right? We're confused. Agents confused. The news is confused. I think everyone's
It's a
confused.
confusing world.
Yes,
right now.
it is very so. We have to think about what are our consumers going through. If they're going to buy or sell a property right now, they're probably really confused. Like, what are these interest rates? What does this mean? What does my monthly payment look like? What is everything that comes involved? If I'm selling my home, what am I going to net?
What's the demand like out there? Are homes over 3 million, 2 million, 1 million still selling? What's the movement in the marketplace?
What are market times looking like? Like, we really have to be on that front line right now of that educational process, because we know the landscape of real estate is always changing. I mean, it's kind of the only constant, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's the only thing we can really rely on in this life is everything is going to change at some point.
True, existentially and in real estate.
Every day, everything. And so we have to remember that when things are constantly changing and we're aware of it, we know that things are always changing, but the consumers are kind of in the back date, right? They're kind of like, they're in the back world.
They're 60 days behind,
well,
or
and
not more.
They just really aren't aware like we are, or as privy to the information of real estate. And, with all these AI tools, which we love AI, right? Yeah. We use it daily. I use it regularly. But a lot of these consumers go in and they put in things with AI about buying and selling. And we know, as the actual people in the industry, some of those things are completely wrong.
Well, the goal line has moved, or it's no longer relevant, or it's just outdated information they're getting from a survey or some tech and website and social media based information that's a little dated. So what do? We have to slow down, we have to have personal touch, and we have to get educated on real-time stats, real-time flow of the market, that we can communicate clearly to the buyers and sellers we're dealing with. We have to get out of ourselves and into the mind of the seller, and then curate content and outreach and phone calls and conversations to nurture them and show up in their world and bring relevant information and compelling data. So when they're making a decision on whether to sell or not, it's educated based on market trends, based on market time, percentage of sold to asking, what's moving in the market, how much inventory do we have, and then on the buyer side, what can I afford with these rates? What's a real-time monthly hard payment I'm going to be looking at every month that I've got to overcome or assimilate into my budget, right? Those are real metrics that people can use to make a decision, yay or nay. But as a consequence of not delivering that type of information, people remain on the fence.
Right. Well, and we have to remember too, if they're remaining on the fence, who's that on? Because we have to be the one, like you said, to educate them on the yay or the nay. And, some of these sellers are in a position right now where it might not be the best thing for them to do is sell. Right. And we have to be the ones to educate them on that and know, like, hey, we do want the commission, but it might not be the best time in the best interest for your client to sell. But maybe down the road when things change, because inevitably it's gonna change.
This too shall pass.
That will be the best time for them to sell.
So then you're the short-term rentals or long-term rentals.
And you know all of this, and you have that information to be able to arm them with that. And you telling somebody, hey, right now might not be the best time for you to sell because of all these factors that come into play. You're going to save them in the long run, and you're going to be the hero to them. And who are they going to come back to?
That's right.
They're going to come back to you because they're like, you made us help make an educated decision. And that's what it's about. We have to make an educated decision and take the emotion out of it, because a lot of real estate is emotionally driven decisions. So as the real estate advisor, we have to help the consumers make an educated decision and not an emotional decision. Oh, and shout out to our girl Brietta. I feel like I just saw her do a video on this not too long ago, because she had a client that was really panicking and they were trying to make an emotional decision quick, and she had to step back and she said, hey, we got to slow this down. This is a big decision we're making. We cannot make this as an emotional decision. And she had to get into numbers. She had to get into data, because it is very hard to argue with data, right?
That's right.
We can't argue with numbers. If somebody sees numbers and sees the data, even if they are in a high emotional state, they recognize like, oh, I'm wrong here, right? Like I am being, okay, I see the numbers, I see the data, I should reconsider what I'm thinking here. So that's where like you said, becoming the advisor, knowing the market times, knowing what price, how long it is list to percentage, knowing that kind of information and being able to lay that all out and not just, hey, this is our marketing plan, this is what we're going to do. We have to take it a step further now.
I agree. I think instead of like, hey, lots of inventory, not as much buyer appetite, great time to buy. It's always a great time to buy real estate in San Diego, right? That's a totally sales pitch. I believe it, by the way. But when you lay out what it looks like to get private money, conventional lending, and other sources of, upping the down payment to minimize the amount of debt to maybe get them into a more of a comfortable payment. Do they have those resources? Can they borrow from a 401k? Can they have more of a down payment? And shining a big bright light on all of their options to not try and steer them in one direction or another, but to know all their options and allow them to make an educated decision. That's how you build trust. Even if no deal is part of the deal, even if not moving forward is part of the solution, you have to wrap that into the solution because it might be the right move for people right now.
Right.
And I think when people have laid that out for me in my experience in my life, there's been instant trust because part of what they're laying out is me not making any money or them not making any money, which is a viable option. And on the seller side, we have to look at, hey man, here's what we're looking at. 89% of asking to actual sold. That means we are asking here and it's sold down here. So we can anticipate that that's going to be the same kind of template, the same trend that we see for you. So either we get aggressive and ask for more and chase the market down, or we expect that we're going to get 90 cents on the dollar in terms of our asking and back it up with the buyer demand, with what the affordability index looks like and how it's affected by interest rates, by have some loan officer and credit union and bank data on the appetite of buyers in their marketplace. That way, maybe a short-term rental could be the answer until 2026. Or a long-term rental to at least stop the hemorrhaging of mortgages and stem the tide to help them break even and fight to live another day.
I mean, there's historical data that we can there's historical data that we can look at because we know real estate's a cyclical market. We all know the trends have came back, and it's like fashion, But we can always look at historical data.
Are Jordans ever coming back?
They are back, and I will. That is
for
not.
Men?
Yeah, my dad wears them.
Really?
Hey, Randall.
You might catch me in some Lucky Brand jean shorts.
No, I won't let you.
Okay.
So it's good to have these information though, because then you're armed, and then you know exactly those decisions to make. And I will say, like going back to what you said about maybe the deal's now, maybe it's later down the road. But anytime anyone has ever sat with me, and whether they had something in it or not, anytime they've helped me make an educational or an educated decision, usually there was nothing in it for them, and it would just help me build that trust with them. And now they've been in my life usually forever. But so most people that I've had in my life where we've had to have difficult decision making, there was nothing in it for them, and they just sat down with me and had me help make a decision. And they said, hey, these are the options, these are what we have out in front of us, and this is it. And nothing was in it for them. And they took the time and sat there with me and really leaned into making it about me. And that's the thing. That's where we have to really make sure we have to take it out of ourselves and make sure we're doing the best fiduciary duty for the clients, you know?
And I think even when you're curating content, when you're thinking about videos to put out there on social media to attract customers, right? Just like we're not talking about title or how we get a commission. We're talking about agents who have concerns about how do I deal with a really sensitive buyer who's pulled out of 3 escrows because they're freaked. How do I talk them through this? We've got to get out of self and into our avatar and our audience, the people that we're working for and want to bring value to. So we are getting out of title and into real estate solutions. As realtors, you want to get out of selling real estate and commission breath and get into what are the fears of my seller? What are the hopes? What is the absolutely drop dead thing that they need to achieve if they have to sell?
Yeah.
And how do we get you there? And being way better of a listener right now, like that's what I mean by slowing down and personal touch, is listen for the answer that they're giving you. The answer may be that selling is not the right move right now. It may be that we have to hurry up because they got to get to Texas for the job. You got to spend some more time listening than talking right now, which is tough for us salespeople, right? All of us across the board. But it'll pay huge dividends if you come from a role of an advisor, of a consultant, and lay out every possible option and then hear from them what's right for them. That's so critical in this market, and I think that it engenders trust. And it'll, in the long run, really, really pay dividends.
I absolutely have to agree. And I think whenever you help enough people get where they want to go, you get to come along with that ride and you get to help them. And it's so much more fulfilling, too, when you get to help more people on that advisory role like that and getting out of, like you said, myself and what do I need and helping them get into what they need. And like you said, really listening to the clients of, hey, where are we at? What do we need? What do we have to net? Like if you have to net a certain amount, and the market's not getting it, like that, we might not need to sell right now. Do we have to sell? What's the issue? What do we got going on? Where are we at here? So, if you need those kind of data, if you're looking to see, well, how do I get this data? Where can I really get granular on it? Where can I really see these market trends? We have that information. We love to sit down and go over that. We are, we don't seem like the most analytical people, but we really do. We can really dive down and get into those numbers. We love to get nerdy and see those kinds of things and really see where those trends are, where you're at in specific zip codes, where even pocketed areas, things are very, very pocketed in San Diego, especially San Diego.
Some stuff's flying off the shelves and some stuff that makes zero sense that it's sitting is on 6 months. It's just weird. But in having a backup, like we have several providers we work with that do short-term rentals, and we live in beautiful San Diego, and things in National City can get crazy monthly revenue from short-term renters in our area. And everything in between, from beautiful luxury down to every part of the county. So that's an option maybe for some of your sellers that absolutely have to get out of town, but it's not right for them on the numbers to sell. So we can explore all those options. We're happy to go over that with you. This is what we do, is sit with agents and find curative solutions and curate solutions around how you're already doing business, and just going a little bit deeper right now in this market, because there's some confusion. They're drowning in information and starving for value and data, valuable data.
Exactly. Oh, I love that. Yeah, we're all drowning in information, right? I mean, we're inundated. We can go on our phone and type it in chat, and we will have thousands of information right there in front of us.
Yeah.
So we need to have that valuable, knowledgeable, like actual real-time information.
Well, and I will say, agents and salespeople, all of us, right now in these types of markets, we're like, oh, I'm just going to check out and go to Europe, or pull away from my communication and communicate less frequently. I would say you got to go the other way. You got to over-communicate and be top of mind and be accessible more now than ever, because you're the trusted advisor for real estate and for title in their world. This is what you need to be the most findable, the most accessible, and deliver the best information.
Absolutely. I think that's why we're here.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do. We're not perfect, but we really want to show up for our agents and bring value and kind of help you do the same.
Yeah, and we try to keep our finger on the pulse as much as possible to have this information, to know, hey, we just had a coaching session. We just got information from our coach saying, hey, this is what's happening out there. This is what consumers are dealing with. They are confused. They are stressed. They are like, what the hell is going on? And so we have to bring the educational content and educational information to them, and not just, when we're making content, we have to think of what are their hopes and fears and what is really educational for them right now, and think about the content.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, we are here for it. We are here to help. We are discovering and finding our way through this market right alongside you in the trenches. So if you have any questions or comments or would like to hear more about any of this stuff, reach out to us. We're available.
We're always available. We love being a part of the team. So until next time, I'm Haley.
I'm Ryan. Okay. Bye.
Bye.